Hey, and welcome to my channel about living in and moving to Denver, Colorado. Today we're talking about Parker, Colorado and why it's a great place for you to check out. Let's get into it. Hey, I'm Katie Martineau, also known as the Real Estate Gal. If this is your first time tuning into my channel, thank you so much. We are covering all things about the Denver Metro, things to do, places to check out, about neighborhoods, events going on around town. And in saying that, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time I release a video, which is twice a week. And then, as mentioned, my nickname is Katie the Real Estate Gal. I am a licensed real estate agent in this state, so if you need help with buying, selling, or anything in between, I'm your gal, would love to help you, so please reach out however you prefer, call, text, or email. My information is below. Now, more about Parker, Colorado. First, we're going to be covering the location. It is going to be southeast of downtown Denver, and you would take Interstate 25 south, and you're going to pass Denver Tech Center and going to cut over on 470, which is a toll road. So if that is a frequent drive for you, it's going to be advantageous if you get one of the passes that scans when you cross under that toll road. So of course, you can absolutely drive on the toll without that pass, but that pass actually saves you a couple dollars every single time. And if you don't have one of those passes, it just scans your license plate and then sends you a bill in the mail. So that's going to be the easiest and quickest way to get from downtown Denver Metro. If you're coming from maybe the airport or Aurora, you can take 470 all the way, which is again that toll road, or you can take 225 and connects to Parker Road. And Parker Road is a very popular road that cuts right down the center of Parker. Makes sense, Parker Road, Parker. Driving to Parker is actually a really beautiful drive. It's somewhat scenic. It's rolling hills, very much open space. Right after you get on 470, you just feel that the roads are just wider and there's more space to spread out. So once you're driving through Parker, it's really the same feeling as well. Now, on the drive down to Parker, you're not going to see a ton of trees or vegetation other than what I mentioned, those rolling hills. There's a lot of open space. I wouldn't necessarily call it green space because Colorado gets very dry during the summer, and it pretty much makes all of the grass and greenery kind of a brownish color. So I'd say a little bit more prairie-like, but there's one exception to that, and that is the pinery. It's really interesting because in all other areas of Parker, you're not gonna see these huge trees, pine trees, aspens, and then all of a sudden the pinery pops up and you can tell that these trees have been growing for hundreds of years, it feels like. It kind of just pops up out of nowhere, but always a benefit. In Parker, you can definitely get some great views of the mountains. You're also going to be passing a lot of baseball fields, community centers, as well as pools. The sense of community in Parker is really prevalent, and it shows with the upkeep of public grounds, of homes, and the quality of businesses that you find there. Parker does have a Old Town Parker as well as a downtown, and then there's O'Brien Park. So in doing more research on O'Brien Park, I found a link to a YouTube channel that Parker uploads their commission planning meetings on, and it's in a courtroom, and I caught myself watching it for 45 minutes, seeing the different plans that were proposed, and then having the panel say if this is a worthy cause or if it should be approved, what the cost is. They were just asking questions. It was like a low-key courtroom drama. But anyway, O'Brien Park is getting some really nice updates that are family friendly and are improving the community. So that also goes back to that sense of community, because there was another project that was being proposed, and it was for open space, and it was a trail that was going around. They were going to have bathrooms and dog poop bags, as well as 20 parking spots. And there were a couple neighbors that came to the meeting, and they were essentially saying why this wouldn't be a benefit to their little community because their house backs up to this land. So it was really cool to see what their idea of preserving the Parker space and making sure it doesn't get overpopulated or overdeveloped. Speaking of community, Parker has a ton of different types of community events, including the PACE, which is the Parker Arts, Culture, and Events Center. It's a center that hosts a ton of different family series of arts, culture, science. They have a science day, art lectures, family enrichment series of the performing arts. They also have summer camps, which have a ton of different types of dance, hip hop for kids, hip hop for adults, salsa, ballet, line dancing. The list goes on and on. That's a super great community center with family activities to check out. The way that Parker was also developed, the flow was thought through of the hiking trails, biking trails, how everything intermingles and connects, including designated open spaces, which are not going to be developed, or hopefully not developed, like I mentioned with that community planning meeting that I mentioned before. There's also a Salisbury equestrian park. So there's actually a lot of people that are in Parker that own horses, and there are designated horse trails as well as this park that has 30 acres of open space as well as ball fields, a playground, and a lake. Some other things to do that you can check out that Parker hosts are Parker Days, which is a massive weekend festival that draws in over 300,000 people. They have carnival rides, they have local vendors, bands, a ton of the businesses along Main Street participate in just bringing everybody together. So Parker Days, you don't have to live in Parker to go to it. It's almost like a mini carnival. So that's super fun to do in the summer. I believe that's in June. And then some other things that you can check out is a giant Easter egg hunt, movies in the park, music at Discovery Park, art in the park, Parker Oktoberfest, and then trick-or-treating down Main Street. I feel like Main Street is pretty much the central hub and everything kind of revolves around it. Great meeting spots, some really great restaurants where you just kind of feel those local vibes. Parker is part of the Douglas County School District, which is the same school district that Castle Rock and Highlands Ranch are part of. And Parker is number 4 rated for schools with athletes and number 17 rated for overall schools. But Douglas County Schools always gets top awards in the state of Colorado. Moving on to talking about housing, when 470 and Parker Road intersect, everything kind of north of that, you're gonna find a ton of different condos and apartments. And then once you go south, you're gonna find a ton of different single family homes. And the more south you go, it seems like the lot sizes keep growing and growing. The landscaping is fantastic and they are continuing to build new builds. So Parker continues to grow in population. Currently there's 64,000 people that live in Parker. And because it is such a great place to be, more and more people keep moving there. And so they're building newer communities such as Montane and Makanta are two that I got some really great drone footage of. And as you can see from some of the drone footage as well, you can see for miles and miles it feels like. And then also depending on where you decide to live, you might even be part of a golf community. There's a couple in the Pinery area and near Pine Bluff, which has great golfing. The views are stellar and the courses are really nice. One thing I would say about Parker is there isn't necessarily a mall that is associated with Parker or shopping. There is the Southlands Mall, which is to the north of where Parker is, but there isn't kind of like a shopping district. It's pretty spread out and the commercial isn't terribly prevalent, but there are of course stores everywhere. You just might have to drive a little bit further to get to where you need to go, whether it be a convenience store, a Target, a Whole Foods. And you can typically run all of your errands kind of in the same area, but in terms of shopping, Parker lacks that. And of course, some of the best neighborhoods that I'd recommend checking out are Canterbury Crossing, the Pinery, Horseshoe Ridge, and Pine Bluffs are a couple of my favorites. Parker is ever expanding, so there's new developments popping up everywhere. If you're interested in getting a list of what is available in Parker, please reach out to me with my contact information below. It could either be a one-time list or I could set you up on a search. And then if you haven't done so already, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so that you get notified every time I release a video, which is twice a week. I hope this was helpful in finding out a little bit more about Parker, and we'll be on to the next neighborhood later this week.